Let's talk about choosing an acoustic guitar. So in this case here, we're literally talking about choosing an acoustic guitar to purchase. Now, I like to break this down into 3 variables. We can talk about all the specifics, but for a moment here, what I want you to do is try to get out of specifics land and get into general land, which are budget, sound, and feel. Okay, and I really implore you to watch this whole video before posting anything in regards to specific types of guitars, because I'm going to address that. But really, what we're talking about is budget, sound, and feel. And if you can always remember that, you're not going to be misguided. And if you find yourself being misguided or having lots of questions, then chances are you're not focusing on budget, sound, and feel. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, number one, if a $10,000 guitar is your dream guitar and you know that's the one that sounds and feels the best, but that's outside of your budget, well, the budget is going to determine that you're not going to get that guitar, at least for the moment, right? So what I like to say is, if you're going into a store to purchase a guitar, or if you're doing it online, start first with your budget. Because if $1,000 and under is your budget, then you playing a $2,000 or $5,000 guitar is just going to get you frustrated because you're not going to really be able to buy it. So why wouldn't you just focus on the $1,000 and below guitars? Okay, so that's my philosophy on that. And really the 2 things that you're looking for is you're looking for the sound and the feel of that guitar. How does it sound to you? How does it feel to you? There's a reason why there's thousands of different types of guitars and why thousands of different types of players play those guitars is because one might suit one person and then not another. So if you can, get the idea of best or better out of your vocabulary. It truly does not exist in this world. Just like there's not a best car or even a better car. Now there may be what's better or what's best for you. If you're a Formula One driver, then you probably don't want to be driving a Toyota. You would probably want to drive some sort of formula car if you're racing it, because that's the kind of performance that you're needing. And if you can stay in that mentality, it's really going to help with you purchasing the right kind of guitar. Now, as far as the feel, of course, it has everything to do with how does it feel? If you were to play a bunch of guitars in your $1,000 range and one felt way better than another, well, that's one of those variables. You're also looking for something that sounds great. So how would you know something that feels or sounds great if you don't know how to play guitar? That's a great question. If you do know how to play, let's address that first. If you do know how to play, then if you have 10 guitars lined up and you play them all, do you think there's a chance that one of those guitars are going to feel better than another? Of course. Same thing with the sound. There's going to be a guitar that you're going to like sound-wise better than another. And that's what we're looking for. And again, I say what sounds better to you, because if you ask me my opinion of a blank, fill in the blank, chances are I didn't play that guitar because there's thousands of types of guitars out there. And secondly, what would it matter what I think? It doesn't matter what I think because you're the person who's playing the guitar, for the same reason that we don't fall in love with the same person, we don't drive the same kind of car or live in the same kind of house. What's good for you is good for you, may not be good for me, and vice versa. So if you can really get that mentality into the way that you're purchasing this guitar, you're going to be in the right place. Now, if you don't play guitar yet, a great thing to do is to check reviews, especially if you're buying online, check those reviews. If you have somebody that has thousands of 4.5-star reviews, that's probably a good chance that you're going to get a good instrument, because it's hard to recreate thousands of 4.5-star reviews. If you have a guitar that has 4 5-star reviews, then it might be the 4 people that work at that company who created those reviews. Maybe not. They could be honest reviews. I'm just saying that you need to tread lightly on something that doesn't have lots of reviews and doesn't have lots of buzz about it. And conversely, if you had something with thousands of views and it had, say, like a 4-star review, in this world of reviews, 4-star is not the best review in the world. But 4.5, you're getting closer to there, that's great. And of course, reading those reviews, because you might find that the shipping on it was slow when in fact the guitar is a perfectly good guitar for you. Make sense? So if you're ordering online, that's what you want to do. Now, if you're ordering in a store, then if you have somebody who knows a bit about guitar and they can go in the store with you and actually play that guitar, and you can hear it yourself and you can go, I really like the way that one sounds better than this one that you played, then you don't even have to play and you're getting into a new guitar or a great guitar that's great for you. But again, as far as feel, even if you don't know how to play yet, another guitar player, I could go and play any guitar and pick it up and go, gosh, the action on this is too high, or oh, the intonation's all messed up. It's not gonna sound good when you play it. It needs to be adjusted. And a lot of times a guitar just needs to be adjusted. So even though you may find the perfect instrument that sounds perfect for you, but it doesn't feel quite like you want it to, a lot of times that can be fixed by a guitar luthier who could lower the strings, change the string gauge, etc. So you first want to go with your budget, then you want to go with the sound, and then the feel. Feel is important, but again, some of that can be adjusted by a guitar luthier to make that guitar feel more the way you want it to feel. And again, it's different for everybody. A bluegrass player is going to want the strings higher off of the fretboard than, say, a shred guitar player where they want the strings nice and low so they can play very fast. So what's right for one is not right for another. I can't emphasize this enough to you, because inevitably people say, but what about this guitar? And again, I say to you, I probably haven't played that guitar because there's thousands of guitars out there. And at the end of the day, does it matter what I think about a particular guitar? Because there's always going to be someone who doesn't agree with that, just like opinions, right? Now, if you still at this point are like, Eric, the only thing I care about is what you think, I don't care about what I think at all, then I have a link for you that you're going to find. It's my kit store, kit.co/yourguitarsage, and the link for that will be below. If you want some of my recommendations, you can click on that. There are some affordable guitars in there, and then there are ones that are a little bit more expensive, which will allow you to at least have something to go on if you still go in with your friends and the salesperson at the store played the guitar and they have no recommendations and you can't find any reviews, and after exhausting all of that, you still need something to go to. I've got that link for you, okay? But at the end of the day, feel it out for yourself. Play some guitars, play lots of them so that you have some ideas. Even if you're playing something that's outside of your budget, at least you can extrapolate what a very expensive guitar might feel like to you, or a vintage guitar. We're talking very expensive guitars or older guitars. Try them out, see. If you don't see any difference in them, then what does it matter what everybody else is saying? And also, I would also advise you to be careful about brand names. Now you see me, I've got lots of brand name guitars. I have Fenders, I've got Gibsons, I have Gretsch, I've got all manner of guitars, right? But at the end of the day, I've bought Gibson Les Pauls that played terribly. And then I've bought the budget Epiphone Les Pauls that played great. So just like cars, guitars can have lemons, and you can also buy a guitar that just really needs to be set up. It may be a perfect guitar. So try not to overthink this process, especially in the beginning. You're going to grow into different guitars. Is the car that you drive today the same car that you drove at 15 years old? Probably not. So I want you to think, I would rather see you go and get a guitar and work with it some until you try to look for this dream guitar. Because at the end of the day, the dream guitar is not going to make you a better player. It's going to help, it's going to assist a teeny tiny bit, but I promise you it has everything to do with your practice. So try not to get stuck in the minutia of, oh my gosh, what guitar am I going to get? I'm going to have this guitar for life. Because you might, but chances are you're going to be buying a lot of other guitars just like I have, because they're fun and you're going to go to different ones for different reasons, okay? So at the end of the day, it's budget, sound, and feel. If the guitar doesn't fit your budget, then why look at guitars that are outside of your budget? You want something that sounds good, something that when you pick it up, you're like, yeah, that sounds beautiful. And that is a matter of taste. It's subjective. So what sounds good to you may not sound good to me. Try to stay away from others' opinions other than a broad stroke reviews and that sort of thing. And then the last thing is the feel. And again, even though it's in your price range and it sounds great, if the feel's not totally what you're looking for, it might be something that you ask the salesperson, can this be adjusted so I would like it? And then they can talk about the specifics and whether that can be done or not. Okay? Link is below should you need it. Otherwise, you know what to do. Budget, sound, and feel. The rest are details you don't have to be bothered with right now. Let's keep going.